Hello, this is part 2 of the regression videos. In this video I'll walk through the actual regressions using Microsoft Excel. We're going to do these 5 regressions. We're going to go through this pretty quickly. First we're going to do PE as my Y variable is a function of the growth rate, the dividend, and the beta. These are going to be my 3 X variables. So here's the data download from Bloomberg. I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning this up. Maybe I don't need ticker. And there's a lot of data in here that pulled in that I didn't necessarily need. Alright, so I can get rid of all that. All I really need is my Y variable as a function of these 3 variables. So I don't need return on equity, and I don't quite yet need my earnings per share, but I'll use this at the end as a multiplier. Alright, next I have to clean up my data. Any missing cells, I either need to do a few things. I can look up the long-term growth rate and plug it in here. So if I want to create my own estimate for potash, I can put it in here. If not, if this is not a company I care about, I'll just go ahead and delete it out of the analysis. Down here it looks like Georgia Gulf is missing some data. I'll go ahead and delete that. This is important to point out for Cretton. Missing data is one thing, but having data that says 0 is completely fine, right? This is just telling me Cretton does not pay a dividend, so that's not an issue. However, this is an issue. I don't have a beta for it, so I could find that beta, or I could just delete it from the analysis. All right. So now I'm ready to go. I can model PE as a function of those 3 variables. So data analysis, regression. My Y variable will be PE. My X variable will be those 3 right there and all their data. I want to tell the computer that I have labels in the first row. Where do I want it to output? Let's have it spit out right here. And make sure you check off the box for residuals. Alright. Hit OK. I come down the bottom here and I see my predicted PE ratios. I'm just going to copy those and bring them up top. Alright, so if I wanted to get a predicted price, it's just going to equal my predicted PE multiple times my earnings per share. Alright. And I can compare that to last price to help me develop an opinion here. So the last price for Dupont was 47. Our model here is valuing it at 59. We'd have a buy rating on it. Right? Monsanto, last price was 63. We're predicting a price of 41. We'd have a sell rating or a short rating, for example, on it. Whereas Praxair, last price was 92. We value it at about 92. So this is a case where we might have a hold rating or we're just neutral. Okay. I've already lined up 4 more spreadsheets here. The second one is price to sales. You already saw me download this information from Bloomberg. I've just organized it so it's a little cleaner for us. And one thing we have to model is the profit margin. So I've inserted a cell here. And to get profit margin, all I have to do is take my price to sales ratio and divide it by my PE ratio. Okay. So price to sales ratio divided by PE ratio is a way to get my profit margin. Alright. So now I can model price to sales as a function of profit margin, dividend, growth, and beta. So let's go ahead and do that. Regression. My Y will be price to sales. My X will be profit margin all the way over to beta. So profit margin, dividend, growth, and beta. Okay, print to A27, residuals. Okay, grab my predicted price to sales and copy it. Paste it up top. So predicted price to sales, if I want my target price or my predicted price, I just take the predicted price to sales times the revenue per basic share, right? And that was a new field that we downloaded. So again, I can see DuPont's trading at 47. Using price to sales regression, I'm putting a target price at 54. I'd be a buyer. Right? Monsanto, same thing. It's trading at 63. We put a price on it at 39. We'd be a seller or possibly a short seller. Alright, price to book. If you can see in my worksheet, I've created 3 different spreadsheets. I called one price to book basic, one price to book Buffett, and one price to book using Dupont Analysis. So what do I mean by that? This is what I would call price to book basic, where I'm just modeling return on equity. Price to book Buffett would be where I decompose return on equity into these 3 variables. And price to book using Dupont Analysis is converting return on equity into those 5 variables. Alright, so for basic, we're just going to model price to book off of dividends, growth, beta, and return on equity. So my Y is price to book. My X is these 4 variables. Alright, and take my predicted price to book, paste it up top. I had pulled in book value per share, and that's the multiplier I'll use to get my target price. So my predicted PB ratio times my book value per share. And again, it looks like under this analysis, DuPont still comes out as a buy, just not as strong of a signal as we got from price to sales or from price to earnings. Alright, so that's using the most basic return on equity. Let's take it a step further. Let's decompose return on equity into these 3 factors. This is the way Buffett would look at things. So I'll run my regression. My Y variable, price to book. My X is going to have quite a bit more in it this time, right? Looks like I'm running 6 different variables. Get my predicted ratios. And same thing, I'll look at book value per share to use as my multiplier. So equals predicted PB times book value per share. Different signal this time. Right? Under a Buffett analysis, I'm not getting a buy signal for DuPont. Alright. And let's run it through the DuPont analysis where return on equity gets decomposed into those 5 factors. That works. Just need to change this. Copy all my predicted price to book ratios up top. And just multiply predicted price to book times book value per share. Again, it looks like by using this decomposed method, I'm not putting a buy rating on DuPont. Alright, hopefully this is helpful.